And so I just have this feeling. That Shang-Chi is going to perform pretty badly.
Now, you might say many things, but if you think Shang-Chi is about to join the club for successful Marvel films, you'd be wrong.
Hold up.
Hey guys, it is Tristan with NewsStand, and we need to talk a little bit about Shang-Chi. Now, I have not seen the movie yet, so there will be no spoilers, but only because I've been very sick and I think it's only getting worse. So, yeah, I don't want to spread anything. But we're going to talk about the box office numbers, and of course, we have to talk about the controversy. And the controversy is that Simu Liu did share a Instagram post, I believe, about proving the hate mob or the haters or however he phrased it wrong. I want to cover that. And I did a little bit on a community post, but even so, I think it's worth talking about. So let's talk about the general box office numbers first, because it did soar past its original projections, which I even reported on, saying that it would probably be, I believe the original projections were like 35 to 55 million. It was very low initially. And of course, it is record breaking for the Labor Day weekend, which is also at this point trying to be spun like, oh, it wasn't a hard one to beat. Labor Day is generally a very bad weekend for movies. Hence why the numbers are so low, because nobody releases on Labor Day. And I said it wasn't smart to release on Labor Day. And they did. And they proved me wrong, with a lot of people wrong. But if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. As always, hit like. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you saw the movie. And be very careful. Please don't post spoilers. But it is doing great. The cinema score, which is way more important in my opinion than something like Rotten Tomatoes, which is still phenomenal. The cinema score is taken directly from people that seen the movie. So it's not taken from critics. It's not taken from YouTubers. It is people walking out of the theater, and it got an A. So that's really, really great. It's actually quite impressive compared to a lot of movies that are, even I think I want to say that Black Widow got a B+. But regardless, everything I've heard is pretty good. Even some of the people we're going to talk about later in the video were saying it was a really good movie. So that's impressive. That's a feat on its own. So it did get 94 million. It got way more than expected. And that was obviously, well, there are including here the 3-day weekend. So I want to be clear about that. I think it was 75.5 million for the 2-day weekend, right? Obviously, the numbers for Thursday are always included in Friday. So you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 94.4 million includes Monday because of the extra day. So we are seeing that it's done better than basically everything but Black Widow, right? Even past F9 and A Quiet Place Part 2, which this is what we needed, because this, in a way, is saving a lot when it comes to this fall for movies. Had this movie done bad, there would be a just about guarantee pushback of movies like Venom, which was pushed forward 2 weeks because of this. October 1st now instead of mid-October. And you would see stuff like Eternals delayed. But because this did so well, it kind of saved the slate for fall. It saved the movie slate, and it showed more than anything. Even with the Delta variant going around, people still want to get out. People crave normalcy. People crave that movie going experience. I love that Black Widow was on Premiere Access. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. And if this movie had been on Premiere Access, I would have purchased it also. But there is nothing like going to the movie theaters. It is amazing in a lot of ways. I remember when I was younger and I went to go see I want to say Wolverine or Origin Wolverine or the second Wolverine movie. I don't remember. But I went in and it was completely packed. People were dressed up. No, it was first class because we had Mystique cosplay. And it was so fun to be able to dress up. And mind you, I was like 18 years old, right? But everyone dressed up. Everyone got ready to go. And everybody in that theater was cheering. Everybody in that theater was excited. Everybody in that theater was ready for this great movie. And me and all my friends are sitting around dressed up like, Wolverine and Mystique and da-da-da-da-da. It was just something fun. It's unlike anything else. So it's a completely different, experience than seeing it at home. And these numbers that they're getting do not include China. These numbers, the numbers that I've said do not include anything that is international. For its international, it's 146.2 million. So it's impressive. And you cannot take that away, but don't worry, people will. People will, but you can't take that away. I won't. I'm glad to see something do well. And just to clarify a lot on some of the comments that have been talked before, Simu Liu never said he was the very first Asian on film. He never said he was the very first Asian man as a front and center person. He said he was Marvel's first Asian superhero, which is very much so true. Now, if you're going to include Agents of the S.H.I.E.L.D., which is not canonically associated with the MCU, you had Daisy, who was more of an anti-hero. And then Lucy Liu played a really good character, and I cannot remember her name. I know I only watched the first 2 seasons of it, so it's been a very long time. But she was kind of an hero. They were all kind of heroes, but kind of not, right? So they don't count in this situation because it is not included in the MCU. Now, of course, maybe he just didn't know about those characters, which is probably more than likely, but that doesn't take away from them either. I did like that show. I don't know why I stopped. I watched until Mockingbird got on and I was like, hell yeah, I love old Mockingbird. And then I stopped watching it. I told you for a long time, I really, really got out of the MCU. So let's talk about the controversy because that's really what you're here for, right? This is what Simu Liu actually put on his Instagram story, not Instagram picture, Instagram story. So he's just kind of calling out all of the ridiculous. Now, I went back through and I listened to a couple of these videos just to make sure. And I want to point out a couple things in this picture. I think this is Nerdrotic. He puts a question mark. Good for him. I have no issue with that. Same with Clownfish TV. Put a question mark. Shang-Chi big flop. It's clickbait, clearly. A lot of these are clickbait. Does anyone care? Clearly, they do. What I want to say about this is a repetitive thing done by this community. I don't know of an attack they've done like this, and put in the comments below if this is true or not. Let me know for sure, because I would rather be educated than say something that is malinformed, and I can't find anything to the contrary of what I'm about to say. I have never seen this community attacked a movie or a TV show like this that has had a straight white male front and center. They only ever go for female or people of color, and every single time it's always for the same reason. It is because whenever they see a female front and center, it's automatically woke. If they are a person of color, it is automatically woke. And because Simu Liu is of Asian descent, it is going to be woke because we said so. Don't give us any evidence because they literally have none. It's woke. They say that his comments prove that it's going to be woke. That has nothing to do with the movie, right? Nothing whatsoever. I don't. Marvel loses millions. Clearly, that's factually incorrect. Incorrect. You have no idea at this point if that is correct. I don't know what the budget was. I'd be curious if this says. I cannot see. I will try to look before I edit, but we don't know yet if they've lost any money. And with a movie like this, even if it was 200,000 or 200 million, which is a fair amount, right? It's just probably around the amount it is. It's obviously not going to lose millions. It's not. It's already at 146 internationally. We're only 50 million away. Incorrect. But this is something that they do. They are, and I would say I almost was very similar for some time. And I think I saw the error of my ways when I started realizing people were just like, oh my God, they're buying empty seats. They're buying empty seats so they cannot be a fail. What? Stop. I think I was watching a video by your boy Zach earlier. And I think he said it best when he said, people that you don't like are going to be successful. And you just have to learn to deal with it. Stop making up crazy ass conspiracy theories. Because somebody you don't like Kathleen Kennedy, who clearly can create success, even if you don't like her. She's made billion-dollar film after billion-dollar film. But because, again, she's a chick, let's attack her. Oh, I do think there is one. That would be Rian Johnson. I forgot about him. But then again, I'm not a Star Wars person. So my there's a little added thing to my comment earlier. These people never stop. They won't stop because there are people that feel disenfranchised by Marvel, by DC, by these communities when they see women and people of color up front. And I get feeling disenfranchised when your favorite character is race swapped. I've been there. It took me a long time to adjust to the difference in Cyclone, but I have. It took me a long time to realize that it wasn't a big deal as long as the heart was there and long as it wasn't the comic book version and they went back and changed everything and I'll never have that again and it's completely over. Of course I have those old comics. Of course I do. And I can't judge her as that role until I see it. But because the internet has created a reactionary side on both sides. Let's be clear about this. It's on both sides. And it has just completely flourished because people are addicted to negativity. And it's really unfortunate. Speaking of, I'm going to have a big stream about this on Sunday. I'm going to have a bunch of people on. We're going to talk about the problems within the fandom menace, what they stand for, and really dive into maybe the psychological aspects surrounding it and why it's always, like I said, somebody that's a woman or somebody that's, not of a Caucasian background. We're going to talk about all of that. But when it comes to this, I find it hilarious. I have no issue with Simu Liu doing this. But what's even more hilarious is that idiots like Nerdrotic come back on and say, I was attacked. Jesus Christ, are you a fucking pussy? You were attacked? Do you know what an attack is? Somebody mocked you. You weren't attacked. Your channel's not under attack. And I did watch the video. He did say he was being a bit hyperbolic, but he clearly was getting attacked by people at Disney, and that's nothing new because they don't like when you point out diversity. What, motherfucker? All right. You weren't attacked. You can deal it out, but you can't take it. And that's human nature. Sometimes people have a hard time taking criticism. So here, I'll give it to you straight. If you are going to attack everything, then don't expect to get some pushback. It's not unprofessional. What's unprofessional is playing victim. The victim card is outplayed. It's outplayed. People are sick of it. So if you want to play victim then have a real crime at hand. Until then, nobody's going to take you seriously. And above all, when it comes to this anti-SJW community, they all use each other. Like in this quartering video, he uses Clownfish TV, Pirates and Princess, I think it is, their website. They all use bonding into comics or cosmic book news. It's all a circle. It's always a circle. They never use real sources, and if they do, it's clearly just to report on or react to the news, and then give your reasoning as to why it's going to flop. I have been very clear that I don't like this community, or I don't care for what they stand for, and I don't stand for the same thing. And if you do, that's okay. I get it. You feel like you've been played by these companies. I understand. But I'm not going to act like a fool on here, and when I get attacked, lash out. I'm not a child. I'm not 4, and I'm not an SJW like these people. So let me know, of course, what you guys think. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.